Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got a dropshipping, e-commerce, and affiliate business for sale in the apparel and accessories niche. Created in November 2015, this business makes $5,427 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 44262. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. How are you doing today, Michael?
Hello, I'm doing fine. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to be on here with me today.
My pleasure.
Before we get to the questions that I have for you, I want to go ahead and run through a quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in November of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $70,841, expenses of $65,413 to make for a net profit of $5,427, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain, site content and files, social media pages, custom theme with code, and email list. Michael, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yes, of course. Well, I started doing online marketing back in 2011, so many years ago. And basically, when I started out, I was into the affiliate marketing space and creating info products and selling software. But back in 2015, we started hearing a lot of good things about e-commerce. So we just wanted to get into that space and check Shopify and see what we can do. And that's the reason why we created this site, using all our experience in marketing and advertising and these promotional methods to try and get our hands dirty in the e-commerce space.
Why are you selling the business today?
Well, mainly because, as I said, my background is more related to info product creation specifically. And we created this site and started growing it almost by accident. And it has grown quite significantly and has yielded very good results over the past 2 years, almost 2 years and a half. But I'm really wanted to get back into my previous endeavors, which we haven't killed yet. But I really want to get back into info product creation, which is more kind of my thing, and just sell this site to someone who can enjoy doing e-commerce better than I do and making more profit out of the site.
So if you take a look back at the profit level for the last year, you see a relatively steady level with a bit of a dip last summer, June, July, August of 2017. Can you talk about what happened during those months?
Well, basically what happened is that during these months, we saw a drop in Facebook conversions. So we weren't able to scale our Facebook campaigns as profitably as we wanted to. So we just started investing less during those months in the summer not to spend money for no reason at all and to keep profitability to some extent at an acceptable level.
What exactly is going on with the business today? How much time are you putting into it?
Well, right now, let's say that we are spending about 30 hours a week on the site, but that just mainly because we want to still keep the site alive and offer new products to our customers. So if someone was to buy this site and spend less time keeping it alive, he or she could perfectly spend like 5 or 6 hours a week. But we want to continue adding new products, even though we are trying to sell the site or we have the intention of selling the site. We want to continue adding new products or running new campaigns and finding new sources of traffic. So that's the reason why we spend 30 hours a week, more or less, on keeping the site alive. But it can be done in much less than that.
With the social media pages that the business has, which include Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube, what success have you found with social media marketing?
Well, we have basically found most of our success with Facebook. We just started doing Instagram marketing a few months back and started growing our profile. We only, quote unquote, we only have 5,000 followers on our Instagram page. And that's something that really can be seen as a potential for growth, because we know that in the e-commerce space, Instagram is a huge channel nowadays, and it's the reason why we started doing it. But basically, Facebook is the channel that we've used the most and where almost 95% of our traffic has come from so far. But it's a big opportunity there for the buyer.
The business is dropshipping, e-commerce, and affiliate. Can you explain where, what are the percentages of each part of the business? Where does the majority of the revenue come from?
Yeah, the majority of the revenue comes from dropshipping right now. I mean, the affiliate commissions are just based on the fact that we can buy the products through a platform that gives us access to these products that we will dropship and buy them using our own affiliate link, which is accepted by the terms of service of the site. So it's like an extra revenue that we get on each sale because we get a commission on each sale that we make. And then we have a stock of products that we manufacture or we have manufactured for us with a specific manufacturer for a particular line of products of our site. That is about 25% of our business, so to speak. But the biggest percentage or the highest percentage of our sales is dropshipped products.
What strategies to expand the other parts of the business would you take if you were to keep the business long term?
Well, I think that this can be seen in several ways. First of all, you can always expand the product line because as you can see, or as the buyer can see in the site description, the business is focused on apparel and accessories, but you can expand the product line to other types of products, let's say houseware products, I don't know, more apparel products, additional apparel products, and so on. So getting into new lines of products within the same niche can be one opportunity to expand the business. The second opportunity or the second idea that you can rely upon to expand the business is, of course, getting invested more heavily into additional sources of traffic. As we mentioned before, it could be Instagram, it could be Pinterest, it could be video ads in YouTube or AdWords, which we are not doing right now. And the third chance to increase the bottom line would be to establish agreements with offline or physical stores that can put our merchandise for sale, keeping our brand, of course, and paying us a commission for each sale.
You mentioned the Google AdWords that you're not currently doing. Do you have any specific reason why you aren't currently doing that? Or is it just something where it's not in your expertise and you've been focusing on other stuff and don't have the time?
Basically, it's not in our expertise. We have made a few tests, but we are very, very amateur in regards to Google AdWords and Google AdSense. I mean, the banner or Google display network. So it's something that where we haven't been able to devote enough time to become as experts as we are in Facebook advertising, for instance. We have spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours too in the past doing Facebook ads, and that's what we know how to do, but not with Google AdWords.
When you talk about running the business, you keep mentioning we. Do you have partners or employees who are helping you run the business?
Yes, I do have a business partner, and we have 2 full-time employees, but I want to make it clear that this is not the only site that we have. So we are not all working on this particular site.
Do you feel like some of the other aspects of the business, like in particular the social media marketing, the Facebook advertising, do you feel like that could be outsourced to a virtual assistant if a new owner wished?
Yes, definitely. Right now we have a couple of virtual assistants that are in charge of customer support and the purchasing for the dropship products. They are not working full time. We keep 2 of them because that way each of them can take a free day and the other one will keep her works on a schedule. But if he finds a VA that's knowledgeable on Facebook advertising or any other kind of social media advertising, definitely it can be outsourced without any problem, or to an agency if you want to.
Do the employees that you currently have who are working part-time, are they willing to continue working for the business under a new owner?
Yes, at least one of them is, or said another way, we would like to keep one of them working for us for other businesses that we have running, but the other one would be willing to keep working for the new owner. And that's an advantage because she has been working with us for more than 1 year now. So she knows the ins and outs of the site. She knows all the typical questions that we receive in our support system. So she's very knowledgeable about that aspect of the business. So that's a plus.
Have you tried any email marketing?
Yes, of course, we do email marketing and we do it heavily. I don't know what details you want about
I
that.
guess basically when you say heavily, how many subscribers do you have and how often do you, hit that list and what kind of conversion do you see?
Okay, we currently have 70,000 subscribers on our list. Some of them are buyers and some of them are leads. It's also important to keep in mind that the list can be bigger because from time to time I tend to prune the list only to keep the engaged prospects in that list. I don't want to be mailing people that are not respondent. But if the buyer wanted to rebuild the list, he has access to all the buyers in the system in Shopify that he can import into the autoresponder if he wants to and say, hey, I've become the new owner of this business and I want to establish a relationship with you and please talk to you. Getting back to your question, we have 70,000 customers. I tend to run at least weekly campaign composed of 3 emails. So for instance, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we basically make around $2,000 to $3,000 in revenue each weekend in one of these campaigns. It depends on the type of product we run or the type of sale we run, of course, and the date of the year. Of course, if you run a special campaign in Black Friday, say, the sales are much higher than on a Friday on August. But we typically make around $2,000 to $3,000 per week via email marketing. And of course, we have an autoresponder series. So as soon as someone enters his or her email in the system, they will receive first the cart abandonment in case they abandon the cart, and then 12 email autoresponder series trying to promote additional products, try to convert prospects into buyers. And that runs automatically.
And then the business donates a portion of its earnings to various charities, correct?
Yes, correct.
If you had to ballpark just to kind of give listeners an idea of, how much is going to, if you had to ballpark it, what percentage of the earnings would you say goes toward charity?
Well, it varies widely because we don't have a schedule of anything like we are going to donate 5% every month or whatever. We usually do it on a per case basis. We are often contacted by associations. If I had to ballpark it, I say like 1 or 2% of the profits, not the revenue. But right now, for instance, I'm running an email campaign this very same day, and we are donating 10% of the revenue of that email campaign to the Earth Day Association. Mm-hmm. So it depends. We run specific campaigns where we donate more money, then we wait until we receive requests. So it's done on a case-by-case analysis.
We've already touched on some of them, but are there any more big opportunities for growth that you see a new owner being able to take advantage of?
Well, I think that we've touched upon most of them. Basically, just to reiterate, new sources of traffic, getting in deals with offline retail stores, and adding more product lines to the store itself. I think the biggest one and the easiest one to tackle if you were to buy the site is to get additional sources of traffic, because we know for a fact that the site converts, and we know that the autoresponder sequences convert later on. So the more people you get into the site, the more money and the more profit you will make. So getting more people in with additional sources of traffic would be the first thing that I'd do. Mm-hmm. If I were knowledgeable in AdWords, for instance, or if I was an Instagram expert, or I was doing Instagram influencer marketing, for instance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of different ways, as you said, to bring in more traffic. Like you said, it could be done through Google AdWords. It could be by expanding on Instagram. It could be, improving the SEO work of the site. There's a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. But, so just to kind of say it briefly, would you say that just improving marketing and getting more traffic channels would be a big opportunity you see?
Yes, I think it's the biggest opportunity. My bet would be Instagram influencer marketing.
Instagram influencer marketing is, kind of a new big thing that's coming out here with Instagram.
Yes, definitely. If you follow, for instance, gurus like Gary Vaynerchuk, which doesn't like being called a guru, but he is in a way. It's like the new toy, so to speak, for marketers, and it's one of the biggest two channels and the one where traffic is most underpriced right now. So it's very cost effective to get traffic from there if you know how to do it. So it's definitely a big opportunity.
You mentioned this earlier briefly, but can you touch upon the potential risks that you see a new owner running into?
Yes. Well, the biggest risk, of course, right now, as we are based on direct response via Facebook advertising, is Facebook advertising costs increasing dramatically. So that's one of the biggest costs. The more you diversify your sources of traffic, the more you lessen your exposure to those risks. And the second thing, which is impacting our bottom line, and that may not impact or will not impact a potential buyer from the US, is that in our case, we are based in Europe. So we live in euros, not in US dollars. And we have to pay our payroll in euros and many of our supplies and even the Facebook advertising in euros. So the euro-dollar exchange rate has been an impacting factor for us in the past. So that could be a risk if a European buyer should take into account. But I wanted to point out that it leads to additional expenses for non-US based buyers.
And there's other, just factors too. It's, there are other tools like the Shopify payments gateway that can lower expenses and make it easier for a US citizen to run this business.
Yes, not only easier, but also cheaper, because
Yes.
we were not allowed to use the native Shopify payments gateway because we are not US citizens. But as soon as a new buyer gets the site, he could enable the Shopify payments gateway, and that's like 1% less financial costs because we have to pay an additional payment gateway to capture payments via credit card. So,
would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, of course.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
Well, I think that the least that he would deserve is 1 month of email and Skype or phone support, because there are things to explain, to have the site running. We want him to succeed or her to succeed with the site. So I would be willing to offer 1 month of Skype, email, or phone support to have everything running and everything clear, and to also to transmit or to tell him about my experience with the site and potential opportunities and everything that can make the buyer succeed in the future and grow the site to even bigger levels than what we've done in the past.
Are you willing to discuss something like an Urn Out?
Well, to be honest, we would rather have the price be paid in full at the moment of purchase. Of course, we offer support, and you know that you also require that the site keeps operating at a certain level after the purchase, so it's not something that we can somewhat hide or neglect. We will keep helping the buyer making as much money as we have been doing. So as we offer that guarantee, and you also offer that on your end, we would rather have the money paid at the moment of purchasing the site rather than having it later, because we want to reinvest that money into additional projects.
Awesome. Michael, I have just one more question for you, but before we get to that, let me go ahead and run through a quick summary of the business again. The business was built in November of 2015, has a monthly revenue of $70,841, expenses of $65,413 to make for a net profit of $5,427, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are the domain, site content and files, social media pages, custom theme with code, and email list. Michael, can you just kind of recap everything and in your own words, give me a 30-second pitch on why someone should purchase this business?
Yes, of course. I think that this business is operating in an evergreen niche that will always have demand, and that caters to literally millions of people worldwide. So it's a big opportunity. It's not like a super niche down site that can only cater to a few thousand buyers. It's very easy to run. We have expertise on how to run it, and we include a lot of assets on the sale. As you mentioned, the customized theme. We also include the autoresponder series and everything that's already built for the buyer so that he or she can get the site and start operating in a matter of days and start collecting income. We also have recurring customers, so that's something that will generate revenue without doing or without lifting a finger. So it's a very nice deal, in my opinion, to have in your portfolio if you want to get into the e-commerce business or if you are an expert e-commerce seller.
Yeah, and something that's really cool about a business like this is the ability to outsource some of the day-to-day operations like the social media to really bring down the, time commitment that it takes to run this business. This could be a, big time commitment, and it could also be a very passive business for you. Whatever the new owner would wish, it's really possible with a business like this.
Yes, of course it is. Definitely.
Michael, thank you so much for the time today.
Okay, it was a pleasure talking to you, and thanks a lot for your time too.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.